So people have been asking, what is this NFT thing? NFT stands for non-fungible token. That's what it stands for. And more or less means that it's a digital or token, if you like, that is non-fungible. What does that mean? Totally unique is what it means and can't be replaced with something else. So let me give you an example. All right, Bitcoin is the exact opposite. It's actually fungible. You can trade one Bitcoin for another Bitcoin, and you'll have exactly the same thing. One piece of gold for another piece of gold, $1 for another piece of dollar, right? They are fungible. So NFTs are non-fungible tokens. So what is non-fungible? Well, again, anything that is collectible, which is unique. Collectible sports card, your favorite player for another favorite player. Virtual real estate, a pair of digital sneakers, a piece of unique art, right? Those are all non-fungible, unique. So if you traded it for a different card or a different painting, you'd have something completely different. So really an NFT is a collectible digital asset which holds a value as a form of cryptocurrency. That's all it is. Much like art is seen as a value-holding investment, now so are NFTs. So you might be asking, well, what's the benefit of all this? Well, one of the main benefits of owning a digital collectible versus a physical collectible is that each NFT, so digital one, contains distinguishing information that makes it both distinct from any other NFT and easily verifiable. Is it real or not? This makes the creation and circulation of fake collectibles totally pointless because each item can be traced back to the original issuer. Look, a football trading card cannot be used in a basketball trading card game, right? So it's non-interoperable. Also, NFTs cannot be divided into smaller denominations like Bitcoin can be into Satoshis. They exist exclusively as a whole item, so they're indivisible. They're also indestructible because all NFT data is stored on the blockchain, right, via these things called smart contracts. So each token cannot be destroyed. It can't be removed, it can't be replicated. Why is this all so important? Well, I mean, people throughout the ages have always collected stuff, whether it's cars, paintings, art, wine, the master recording of a record, you name it, people collect it. NFTs are simply taking those collectibles and placing them in digital form. I mean, they even burnt a painting by Banksy and put it in digital form. So it doesn't even exist physically. But it's even more than that. NFTs are, of course, cryptographically secured and authenticated on a blockchain. And this makes them immutable. They can't be copied, they can't be stolen, they can be strictly limited in quantity. Artists can even, this is so cool, make it so only one NFT representing a painting can ever exist. And what does that mean? Scarcity. It makes it as scarce as the physical version. And the artists, well, normally they're at the mercy of auction houses and galleries, and only a few make really big money. Enter the blockchain and NFTs, because with NFTs, the artists can reach a global audience of buyers without using an auction house or a gallery. They go direct. So they can now keep most of the money. And listen to this. Every time the person who bought it resells it, the creator can actually receive a percentage of the sale profits, meaning they receive royalties on their original artwork years later. Seems fair. Might even be transferred to their children. All on the blockchain, so no one can get around it if the person who created it programmed it to do that. Now let's take a look at some examples of NFTs. There's one called Everydays, the first 5,000 days. It's an artwork by Beeple, that's the artist's name, sold for $69.4 million. So what he did is he created one picture a day for 13.5 years. Now that is art. And collated them into one massive picture, one collage. Then there was the CryptoPunk, number 7804, sold for $7.5 million. I'm not going to say anything more apart from, do you like it? I don't know. The first tweet ever was sold for $2.9 million. Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, sold the NFT version of his first ever tweet, right? He put that on as an NFT, people bought it, the proceeds go to charity. Here's another one, Axie, Infinity Virtual Game, right? This is some kind of real estate thing, sold for $1.5 million. There were 9 plots of virtual land on some kind of a gaming platform called Axie. Sold 2021 in February for millions. NBA Top Shot sold over 230 million of these things. These are highlights and digital artwork from the National Basketball Association games. So for example, LeBron James, right? There's him, making a shot, which was very famous apparently, sold for $208,000. So I don't know, is this just a fad or a bubble? Well, it is very new. Some of the prices being paid both for the artwork and some of the NFT platforms does seem to suggest that we are in a bubble. I mean, paying that much just for a digital... But hey, because I'm not a collector. If I were a collector, maybe it's undervalued. Look, when you start understanding what an NFT actually is, and I hope I've explained it, then you will start to realize the immense potential this will have. They're all unique. Very much like the introduction of the internet or social media. NFTs are representing the next level in blockchain technology and how we interact with it. And of course, not all NFTs will survive, but I do believe NFTs are here to stay. So crypto art, you might call it, will create immense opportunities for both artists and creators to capitalize on their ideas. And I remember back in 2019 when the first digital rose on the blockchain. It's just a rose on the blockchain. Sold for $1 million. And I remember thinking that is insane. But now that I understand more, a couple of years later, what NFTs are, I bet you anything that rose that sold for $1 million has made the person that bought it, because it's totally unique, it's the first one ever, has made that person a huge, huge profit. And we won't even mention the person who sold an NFT of his fart for $80. I'm not even going to mention that. So I think, and I'll repeat, I think NFTs will create immense opportunities for both artists and creators to capitalize on their ideas. So I hope that helps.